You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
This woman could not even recognize the American dream if it was fed to her on a silver spoon.
You know, one thing Republicans seem to forget these days is that words, much like actions, have consequence. And in this breaking story, failed Trump lawyer Alina Habba learned that lesson the hard way from a rather unusual source. Not as you might assume from her many failures in court, like failing to properly introduce evidence, being scolded like a child by the judge to stand up, then sit down, and my personal favorite, just ignoring the judge's ruling. No, those failures are in the past, which Republicans treat much like Rafiki in The Lion King.
It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
No, folks, this lesson came courtesy of an iconic clapback from none other than Democratic firebrand Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who just delivered a powerful speech at her rally in northern Las Vegas with Senator Bernie Sanders. And within that speech, AOC had some very choice words for Alina Habba specifically, because earlier this week, Alina went on Fox News and decided, with all the brilliance she's displayed in the courtroom, that this was the perfect opportunity to pick a petty fight that, much like her court cases, she would ultimately lose. Take a listen to the attack she lobbed at AOC here in this elitist, snobbish rant that I can't believe I'm saying this, but this kind of comes off as more petty than Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I really don't see a path for them.
It's true.
I mean, Jasmine Crockett and AOC and the squad seem to be leading the intellectual thought of the Democratic Party.
But what intellectual thought, Sean? The last I saw, they're dancing down the halls of Congress. I've never seen anything like this. I'm watching TikToks of crazy things. They're singing, they're dancing, they're holding beers.
Well,
and
you didn't see me, but I
never saw
did
anything like
quotes.
this.
I was doing, quote, the intellectual
It's
side of
so
the party.
bad.
And I love when AOC
unquote.
lectures Elon Musk about not being intelligent. I'm like, oh, she's such a genius. You know, I'm inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's the
Calm
only
down
thing
and
she
not
and
to
I
have
have
a
in
drink,
common.
to serve one.
Exactly. All right, Alina Habba.
Yeah, and setting aside the fake nails-on-a-chalkboard laugh that came from the hollow, soulless pit of her stomach, I get that attacking women, particularly women of color, and painting them as intellectually inferior is a Republican pastime. I'm not shocked by that from these soulless slimeballs, but why, Alina, pray tell, would you choose to attack AOC for literally pulling herself up by her bootstraps, something you seem incapable of doing? Because let's be honest, Trump isn't exactly keeping you around for your winning court record, if you catch my drift. Why would you attack someone for being working class, for working at a bar? That somehow makes her less intellectual, despite her winning her district in a landslide and actually representing the people who voted for her? The exact opposite of Republicans of late?
I hear them. I know that there are some angry people in my congressional district. I also know there's a lot of people who feel like America's back on track. There's probably some people here that didn't agree with my position on a lot of things, but they went home with the satisfaction of knowing they let their representative know how they felt. And I think that at a minimum, there's some value in that.
So Alina clearly didn't see the logical fallacy that she contorted in her land of MAGA make-believe here, but then again, how could she, right? Not only is she not intellectual enough to be a good lawyer, she also has proven herself to be an abysmal judge of character.
The Tate brothers, have a tremendous social media presence in terms of, and what we were discussing was politics in the UK. He was talking about running. And I am always passionate about people that are vocal against certain things.
Yeah, YouTube won't even let me talk about the things the Tate brothers that she just passionately admired are accused of, but if you don't already know, Google it and thank me for ruining your day later. But with all that setup out of the way, allow me to grace your feed with AOC's brilliant clapback retort that I find so admirable, because while I personally operate under the when they go low, we bury them philosophy, AOC here really took the high road while still managing to take Habba down.
The big talk that Republicans and the Trump administration like to flap about working people. If you actually listen carefully, every once in a while they let the mask slip about what they actually think about us. You know, just last week, President Trump's lawyer, her name is Alina Habba, she went on television, and when she actually had to be faced with explaining her job, and when she actually had to be faced with doing her job, this is what she had to say. Quote, what intellectual thought? When she was asked about me, quote, what intellectual thought? You were in a bar. You were in a bar, AOC, and not to have a drink, but to serve one. And I want you all to understand, I don't care what this woman says about me, but But I want you to understand that she isn't just talking about me here. She's talking about you. She's talking about all of us. Because the entire job of the president's lawyer is to speak for him. Trump hired her to speak for him. So imagine what it means for our country that the president's own lawyer cannot even conceive of a working class person being intelligent simply because of the job that they have. This woman could not even recognize the American dream if it was fed to her on a silver spoon. But understand that this kind of disdain for working people by the most powerful people in this country doesn't just come from not being raised right. It's a shorthand for Elon Musk and Donald Trump's entire political agenda and a certain ugly kind of politics, lying to and screwing over working people so that they can steal from our health care and Social Security and veterans care to pay for tax cuts for the wealthiest and bailouts for their crypto billionaire friends. There's a word for this: corruption.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And maybe next time, Alina Habba should stay in her lane, or maybe even find a new one entirely, because the whole lawyer thing doesn't seem to be going too well. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the Really American channel. And for Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you all in the next one.
I was doing, quote, the intellectual side of the party. And I love when AOC lectures Elon Musk about not being intelligent. I'm like, oh, she's such a genius. You know, I'm inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar. Yeah. You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's the only thing she and I have in common.
To serve one.
Exactly. All right, Alina Habba, thank you.